Hey guys, me Ben here, welcome back to another video. So today in this video, I'm going to be making a sort of Fnaf timeline, more of a theory, but part of it's going to be a timeline, so yeah. If you guys want to comment and, kind of adjust it, I'll try and make another re-upload of this, so you guys can comment down what you want me to change, and yeah. So the beginning of this theory is going to be with Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. More specifically, Fredbear's Family Diner from Fnaf 4. So in Fnaf 4, one of the cutscenes, a child who is crying, and for the sake of this, I'll be calling him the crying child. He gets bitten by the Fredbear animatronic. Apparently, his frontal lobe gets bitten off and has to go to the hospital. And in the game, you play as a child, apparently in a bedroom that has killer animatronics that look honestly terrifying, trying to murder you. So I think that in Fnaf 4, you are playing as the child, but in a coma. A coma that from the incident, you have your frontal lobe bitten off, so your fear factor is not there. Because if you know that some scientific research has been done, if without a frontal lobe you don't face fear, you don't have fear. So what you do is you get up from your bed, and you don't know what these are. You're not afraid, but you close the door because you just want to ignore them. And by closing the door, it makes them go away. And if in the game, there's sometimes an Easter egg where you can see an IV, pills and flowers beside the bed, referencing that it could be a possibility that he is in a hospital. Another thing that kind of brings this theory to the truth is that you don't see any people in it. You just see the killer animatronics. And at the end of the game, after you beat the final night, there is a cutscene where your plushy Fredbear, he says that I will put you back together. And then you hear a flatline from, like, if someone dies in the hospital. Which I think is referencing that the child probably died after the incident, and after the coma, or during the coma he died. Another thing that is very interesting is that Foxy is one of the most aggressive animatronics in Fnaf 4, which I think is referencing because the brother of the crying child has a Foxy mask that he torments his brother with, and all the other animatronics, they're pretty aggressive except for Freddy, because if you see the last cutscene where he gets bitten, all the animatronics except for Freddy's eyes are white. Freddy's eyes are just black, which in other games like Fnaf 1 and 2, when their eyes are white, they have gone aggressive. So I believe that the Freddy animatronic is less aggressive because that one kid was kind of like a standby. He did it because his friends told him they should do it with him. And he was just kind of the least excited about it and didn't want to harm him or bully him in any way. I also have another part to this. In Fnaf 2, there is the toy animatronics. Sorry, I'm just myself. And the toy animatronics reference in Fnaf 4, there's a cutscene where you can go into this garden area and see this little girl with these little toys. And they look like the toy animatronics, except Chica's beak is fallen off. There's little 3 pixels on the ground of Chica without her beak. And I think that during his coma, it's more than just Fnaf 4. Fnaf 4, I believe, is the kind of beginning of the end, if you get what I mean. The end of the coma that he had is Fnaf 4. That's when he dies, because in Fnaf 4 he has the flatline. Fnaf 2, I believe, is the first of his coma things, because in Fnaf 2, the animatronics look plastic, like toys. And when Chica attacks, her beak goes off. And in Fnaf Ultimate Custom Night, she says, you know where my beak is? Lodged in your forehead, of course. Which I think is referencing that the beak is gone, and she just, kind of gives it a little placeholder for it. Or Ultimate Custom Night is referencing, they say that it's purple guys, like, torment in hell, because in Fnaf 6, the place burns down with him inside of in Scrap Trap. Another thing, I think, is after Fnaf 2 is Fnaf 1 because of his brother and all his friends had FNAF masks. And there's also a show called Freddy and Friends going on, and it says 1983, that's why I think the bite is not the bite of 87 referenced by Phone Guy, but it's actually the bite of 83, referencing the TV show Fredbear and Friends 1983. So yeah, this is the beginning of the timeline, and the next part is the part where it gets a bit more insane. In FNAF 3, Purple Guy, which I believe is because the child in FNAF 4, it says that remember what you saw. Remember, go back to the place or something. I can't remember what everyone says, but it says something similar to that. And so I think that he saw Purple Guy kill someone, or like children, because that's what people are theorizing about. And also, I think that the child misunderstood Purple Guy putting on the costume of another employer, helping him put on the Spring Bonnie costume. So I think he thought that the Purple Guy tried to stuff him inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. And that's why I think FNAF 3 is next in the timeline, because it references that, like, the Spring Bonnie, he gets his payback, and that he gets sprung inside of a spring trap animatronic, because they have spring locks, which snaps shut with kind of like an elastic force. Then, in the timeline, is Five Nights at Freddy's 1, the first game. I feel like it's kind of like a pattern. FNAF 2 is outside, and it goes through like a timeline, almost. FNAF 2 is outside. FNAF 3 is inside the building, seeing Purple Guy. And then FNAF 1 is when the bullies come and try and attack the crying child. So the crying child is thinking about the moment, kind of in the chronological order of how it happened. So the bullies come, Foxy most aggressive, like how he runs like how he runs in FNAF 1, and the rest kind of go slowly, because he's his brother and he bullies him the most, and so attacks the most. And then after that is FNAF Sister Location, because it's kind of like a filler almost. There's not really a lot to put it, so I kind of just put it there because there's no really way to put it. Or it could be at the beginning because of the sister's room, in the empty sister room in the FNAF house for the crying child's house. But I'm not fully sure where to put it, but so I'll put it there or at the beginning. You guys can choose in the comments. And then after that is Five Nights at Freddy's 6. What's it called? Pizza Simulator, because they're in the pizzeria, and because of the masks and the stars around the room. If you've seen their stars, and I think they kind of mix those up. I don't really know. These two were kind of the ones that I don't really know where to put them. It could be at the beginning, like the very, very beginning, like building the pizzeria where it first came from, which I think is a good place to put it. You guys comment where you want me to put those two. But at the very end of the timeline is Five Nights at Freddy's 4, where he goes through his coma at the very end. And at the very end of the whole game, the whole timeline, is Fredbear, when Fredbear attacks in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which is the most aggressive and goes through every single pattern that everyone goes. He goes in the closet, left hall, right hall, and on the bed. So, yeah, and that's the end timeline. And then he flatlines. Ultimate Custom Night, I believe, is Purple Guy's Torment. I don't know. Game Theory said that, but I kind of wanted to make my own personal theory about this. And so, first is FNAF 2, because of the toys that are outside. FNAF 3, because he wants revenge on Purple Guy for apparently killing someone, or maybe misunderstood, because he goes in the the Spring Bonnie animatronic costume. Then is Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and then because of the bullies coming to put him in the Fredbear's mouth. And then we have Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, which you guys can put anywhere you feel, because I don't really know where it can go. It can't go after FNAF 2 or 3, but they can probably go after FNAF 1 or before FNAF 4. Not after FNAF 4, because that's the end. And it can go at the very beginning. I think that Pizzeria should be at the beginning, the very first one. And then it should go Sister Location, because of the empty sister's room. And then after that, we have Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which is just kind of tying up the loose ends at the end. And Fredbear's attacking, and when he attacks, the reason there's the mouths on the stomach is because I believe that he probably witnessed his sister, because the empty sister's room, because she gets clawed in Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. And so they have this stomach mouse, and then Fredbear dying on that night is probably the most canon way it is, because dying ends his coma, which I believe is the end, and then he flatlines, and then I will put you back together. What happened? So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll probably try and add on to this theory a bit more. I don't know if it's fully good, but yeah. See you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what you think the timeline should be. And yeah, see ya.